on the channel, I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much yet, but today we go special ops undercover, but no conspiracies here as we get an early sneak peek at prototype editions of KWK, Barry Horowitz.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, back again with something entirely different here once again today. As today, we're taking an early sneak peek. No, not that sneak peek from G.I. Joe, Todd McFarlane. We're talking a sneak peek at Barry Horowitz from KWK Collectibles. And of course, for all your Barry Horowitz needs, all your KWK needs, head over to shopkwk.com. Tell them Kyle sent you, of course. And of course, you can also go to the Asylum Toys, J&J Figures. There's a lot of places to buy KWK products from, and we've bought a lot of them and we've seen a lot of them here over the last year plus on the channel. Some of my absolute favorite retro figures, that Manitar, absolutely perfection. We've seen a lot of really good figures from them over the last year plus, and now we're getting another new one here in Barry Horowitz. Now, he should be shipping out to everybody soon. I will have mine on card samples eventually, and we'll compare those just like we did Max Moon fairly recently on the channel. Check out the Max Moon unboxings and pick up your Max Moon if you need that. But Barry Horowitz comes to us here today, and how cool is it to get Barry Horowitz, as we have never had a Barry Horowitz figure. Now, a lot of people say, oh, jobber to the stars, and I would say one of the most famous jobbers of all time as far as WWF goes. We always knew Barry was going to put up a fight. Unfortunately, Barry wasn't going to win many a times, but I do remember as a very little kid running home every single day, and I've told these stories many a times, running home from school to catch the GWF on ESPN. And who did the GWF have once upon a time as their TV champion when I was a little kid? One Barry Horowitz. So he was a guy that obviously in the big leagues, WWF, even WCW, a bit of a jobber to the stars, but a name jobber. But then some of these littler independents like GWF, TV champions. So Barry Horowitz, an all-timer if there ever was one. And it's cool to see guys like him get their flowers many years later. Now, I fully expect we'll see more Barry Horowitz figures in the future, probably from other companies. But who did it first? It was KWK, and we got a lot of different editions coming, of course. That KWK always puts out many of variants. I believe 4 total for Barry Horowitz here. So you Barry Horowitz maniacs, you got to get all of them. You got to get doubles of all of them here. But we're going to take a look at 2 of them here today. Got to take a look at these prototypes. Can't wait to dive in. And of course, we're going to do this video like we do all the other videos when we're dealing with prototypes. We're going to look at them and talk about them. That's all we're going to do because there's no packaging to talk about, at least yet. But let's dive into it. Let's dive into these suspenders for old Barry Horowitz right here. Looking very good. We'll start with the head sculpt department here. Now, it does look maybe a little bit cartoony. Maybe it's missing just maybe a little bit of personality. However, I really feel like if somebody handed me this head and they said who this is, I would know this is Barry Horowitz. Now, you'd have to say, okay, Kyle, this is a wrestler. Do you know who this is? And I feel like I could get you to Barry Horowitz here. Maybe possibly Billy Jack Haynes. But this does look like Barry Horowitz. If you're familiar with the man's work, this does look like him. Had the long hair down to the front. You got the big black beard going on, the curly hair up top. Looks very, very good. Now, this is a prototype sample. Remember that for both of these here. Now, he's got a little bit of teeth showing there that does look good, but I do think this gets the point across that this is Barry Horowitz. I have no issues with the head sculpt on this one here. Looking good, looking good. Now, getting into Barry Horowitz's attire here now, I'm not an expert on Barry Horowitz's attire. I think I remember the hand on the back of the trunks possibly, and definitely the jacket he used to wear to the ring. No jacket with these Barry Horowitzes. But besides that, apparently he wore suspenders along the way sometime. Well, why wouldn't you too? It makes you look dashing and it keeps your tights up as well and your trunks. But this one is suspender version right here. So you got a little bit of design on the suspenders, looking very good. No issues. That does have a little bit of a feel to it here. And I think Sean did a video about this figure saying maybe some of the sparkle and stuff would come off of these suspenders. I'm not having that issue there. I guess a little bit. If you work it hard enough, and they are changing that for the final edition here. So I guess I got one little speckle right off there. So sounds like that'll be finished in the final edition of this one here. But it does look good. It's nice to get the suspenders on here. I guess he had those for a part of his career, and let's be honest, not a lot of people remember the tire career. I'm sure I blew some minds out there saying he was TV champion at GWF, but it is cool to get the different versions here. And I think most people that get this Barry Horowitz, they're probably not going all in on 4. They're picking and choosing the one they really want the most. But diving into this one here, you got the blue suspenders, a little bit of sparkle on there, and black looking very good. Black trunks for him right here. Blue boots down there looking very good. You got a little bit of that white of the socks poking out. Got the black laces there. 2 fists of Barry Horowitz Fury right here. And he is in the, we'll call it the Mr. Perfect pose from the Hasbro days. One of the best playability poses of all time. We got that with Barry Horowitz here today. Head back and forth, side to side. No up and down, obviously. Arms all the way around for both of them. Waist articulation. There it is. Nice and tight. And that is it. That is it as far as that goes. Nothing on the bottom of the feet. But we are going to check, does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? What do you know? Fits on a stand right there. So some extra Barry Horowitz security if need be. But not a bad piece of business here. Now, when I think of Barry Horowitz, once again, I don't think of him necessarily in the suspenders, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. I think of him more like this in just your standard trunks going on here. Now, very similar. Obviously, it's the same mold, same body. No suspenders on this one. Instead, you get the green and black attack. You got the hands all over because people can't keep their hands off of Barry Horowitz, as we know. Bunch of hands on the front there, and then the green on the back, black on the front. Black knee pads, black boots on this one. Black wrist tape and white wrist tape, which is an interesting look. I don't remember that personally, but once again, I'm not an absolute expert on Barry Horowitz and what he was exactly wearing to the ring. But it is nice. It does stand out with the differences between the two. Articulation identical between both of these here as well, as you can imagine. Same head sculpt, same body, everything. It's just the paint is different. But it does look good. And I think between the, it's kind of a pick-em for me. Between the two, I don't know which one I do prefer. The green and black attack looks pretty good. I don't remember him with suspenders very often, but at the same time, suspenders give him a little extra touch of class. Let's be honest. Todd, you're wearing your suspenders right now. You know how classy those are. I don't know. He does also fit on a ringside stand for those keeping track. I'm not sure between the two which one I prefer. It really is a pick-em. It's a hard decision to make, but I am happy we're finally getting characters like Barry Horowitz. They're getting a time to shine. Now, nobody's going to ever argue this is Roman Reigns, this is John Cena, this is the Ultimate Warrior. It's Barry Horowitz. But it is cool that KWK takes the time to honor some of these guys. And I've said it forever. I want every wrestling figure to have at least, or every wrestler to have at least one wrestling figure. Now, obviously, Joe Blow down the street doesn't deserve one. What? Midwest Professional Wrestling wrestling legend Gage Octane, he definitely deserves a figure. Hopefully that happens. Maybe I'll get him in touch with KWK. Maybe we can get that done. We'll see. But happy to have a Barry Horowitz figure after all these years. And speaking of prototypes, I do got the prototypes for Max Moon. So interesting on this one, and I don't know when this change happened, but Max Moon, no holes in his feet, holes in Barry Horowitz's feet. So I don't know if that's something that they've been added fairly recently, but I do like that. I like the option for the stand if I want one or if I do not. I do like that. Now, we do got one that this is a final edition of Taka Michinoku from not too long ago. Check out the review on the channel. To me, this is probably my least favorite KWK figure because of the extra glossiness on this one. It's just too glossy for me, and I do like it. It was much dialed back here on Barry Horowitz. I really do like this style of Barry Horowitz. I can see somebody saying they want a little bit more shine, a little bit more gloss. It really does come down to personal opinion. And my personal opinion is I like this style this Barry Horowitz is in over the extra shiny of Taka Michinoku. But it is a pick 'em at the end of the day. I'd be interested to hear how you prefer. A little market research there for KWK in the comments if they want to. Do you prefer the extreme shine or the dulled back shine, which I prefer? And don't let that influence your opinion there. But I do prefer that one here. And I'm happy to get a Barry Horowitz, and I can't wait to see the final editions here fairly soon. So be ready for those on the channel as well. But what's your thoughts on Barry Horowitz? Any great Barry Horowitz memories for you? Remember, he had a little bit of a run, of course, in the WWF once upon a time where you thought he was maybe going to get to that next level, didn't quite get there. Some time in WCW, and of course, for me, TV champion at GWF, that's a big one. That's a big accomplishment, too. I'm sure he brings that out on his resume to this day. But let me know your thoughts on this Barry Horowitz figure and Barry Horowitz, the human being. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it brings. You can also check out YouTube channel memberships if that's more your speed. Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and of course TikTok. And then, of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. That is my email address if you want to email me anything. And, of course, that is also the name of the podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, each and every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. Check it out if you have not already. So for one Barry Horowitz from shopkwk.com, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we going to dance or are we going to play?